Tonight, the sports world is in shock. NFL wide receiver Rondale Moore has died at just 25 years old. Authorities in New Albany, Indiana confirmed that Moore was found inside a garage on Saturday, and officials reported a suspected self-inflicted gunshot wound. An autopsy was scheduled as investigators began looking into the heartbreaking incident. A career that once looked destined for greatness has ended far too soon. And for many fans, teammates, and coaches, this loss feels impossible to understand. A star born in Indiana, Rondale Moore's story began in New Albany, Indiana, where his athletic talent was obvious from an early age. He first made headlines not in football, but in basketball. At New Albany High School, he helped lead his team to a state basketball championship in 2016. But it quickly became clear, football was where he was truly special. After transferring to Trinity High School in Louisville, Moore won a state football championship in 2017, turning himself into one of the most exciting young athletes in the country. He was fast, he was explosive, and he played with a competitive fire that coaches instantly noticed. The Purdue phenomenon. Then came 2018. As a freshman at Purdue University, Rondale Moore didn't just play well. He exploded onto the national stage. He recorded 114 catches, 1,258 receiving yards, 12 touchdowns, numbers almost unheard of for a freshman receiver. He earned first-team All-American honors and set a school record for all-purpose yardage. His college coach Jeff Brom later said, "Rondale Moore was a complete joy to coach, the ultimate competitor who wouldn't back down from any challenge. His work ethic was unmatched. We loved his smile and the way he wanted to please everyone he met." At that moment, Moore's path to the NFL looked unstoppable. The NFL dream. In 2021, the Arizona Cardinals selected Rondale Moore in the second round of the NFL draft. Fans quickly saw the same electrifying player they watched in college, a dynamic receiver capable of turning any play into a highlight. But football can be cruel. Injuries began to follow him. Still, Moore never stopped fighting to return. After 3 seasons in Arizona, he continued chasing his dream, signing with the Minnesota Vikings for the 2025 season, determined to prove he still belonged. Coaches believed he could be a dangerous kick returner and valuable receiver depth. But tragedy struck again, the injury that broke hearts. During his very first preseason game return, Moore was violently pulled to the ground. The stadium fell silent. He was carted off the field, slamming the back of the cart in visible frustration, a sound echoing through the arena. He had torn his ACL. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell called the moment heartbreaking, saying there was nothing more painful than watching a player suffer while you could do nothing to help. Despite adversity after adversity, Moore kept pushing forward, respected by teammates for his humility and resilience. O'Connell later described him as a humble, soft-spoken young man, proud of his Indiana roots. Disciplined, dedicated, and resilient despite everything he faced. Shock across the NFL. After news of his death broke, reactions flooded social media. Teammates and opponents alike were stunned. One player wrote he couldn't even process it. Another said, "You weren't alone, bro." A teammate who had spoken to him recently simply said, "This one hurt my heart." The football world wasn't just mourning a player. They were mourning a person. More than football. Rondale Moore was only 25, still chasing his dream, still rebuilding his career, still fighting through setbacks. Behind the statistics, the highlights, and the injuries was a young man people genuinely cared about. And his passing reminds us of something deeper. Athletes may look strong on the field, but they're human off of it. Tonight, fans remember the explosive plays, the speed, the smile, and the competitor who never backed down from a challenge. Rondale Moore's story didn't end the way anyone expected, but his impact on teammates, coaches, and fans will not be forgotten. Rest in peace, Rondale Moore. If this story moved you, take a moment to like the video and share it, because sometimes remembering someone's life matters more than the headlines. And subscribe for more stories that honor the people behind the spotlight.